Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. The grade A large egg took a great fall. Neither the president nor any of his administration could convince the opposition party to help with the cleanup. So here they are, with egg all over the place, nary a soul with any solution. Lo and behold, Congress was reassembled just in time to take a vacation. And we, the people, complained and griped. But as it was with those we chose, we talk among ourselves, but no one seems to have a solution. We're in a status quo holding position, circling the wagons for 3 more years. The earthbound man or woman who will lead us to recovery has not been born of parents who have not been born yet. If we, the people, are to save the third rock from the sun, we will need to start acting like our founding fathers, or prepare for the next great flood to cleanse what we royally screwed up. Good hump day to one and all. I'm Rayford Brown. How do you follow that? Not a thing to say, right?
Chris Marks.
Lee Barrows.
It's
Great
Wednesday.
opening.
It's Wednesday. I don't know why I even wrote something like that. I don't know who was on my shoulder tapping it, but somebody was there telling me last night late to do something. I did it. It's Wednesday, the 323rd day of the 365-day trip around the sun this year. I'm wrapping up my 77th solar voyage. The vast majority of y'all have many journeys in your future. Good luck. I'm through now. Aren't you happy?
No. Oh, yeah. We're going to have fun today.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be one of those days. And first of all, y'all, thanks for listening. If we haven't convinced you yet to listen, I'd love for all of y'all to do that.
Right.
It's rewarding to see you when you make comments, especially, and even if you like, dislike, or whatever, don't be vulgar, and just
God don't like
say
ugly.
something. Yeah. Well, why did he have so much of it born?
Oh, that's ugly, Rafe. God.
It is a Wednesday, and we do appreciate y'all. Sit around when I get down here in the mornings about 5:30, after spending time getting dogs and cats fed, and then later cleaning up the mess that one of them made. Clean up on aisles 1, 2, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you start looking over stuff that I haven't looked at any of the news since last night about 11 o'clock, 11:30. And then I start looking and I say, oh, God, I'm going back to bed. Wouldn't it be sometimes just so nice to do that? Say, click.
I agree.
Yeah.
Back in the old days with a landline phone that I had, and particularly because of the work that I was doing, the shift work in those days.
The landline.
They all weren't like that. Some of them you actually pushed a button since the 1960s. You know that, right?
Only if you had money.
But in those days when I get off and we're going to sleep during the day, and there are people that just thank God they weren't like they are today, calling every number that they can dial, because I probably would have really come unglued. But for the landline, cell was easy. Just put it under a pillow. If you didn't know how to turn it off, just put it under a pillow. For the landline, I had a switch on the phone in my room where I slept. Had blackout curtains that I just put up. They were big pieces of black cloth. They were thick, dark room cloth, we called it, and just put it in with push pins on the windows.
Yeah. But
for the phone, you can't take it off the hook. That's just not cool. Because it goes. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Oh, aggravate.
So what I did, I opened it up as any good technician would do, and I put a switch on that thing where the bell, that ringer thingamabobber is.
Yes.
I cut the wire and I put a switch there and drilled a hole in the side of the phone, put the switch there, ringer on, ringer off, click.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the people on the other end, it rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. That was before the days I even had one of those, what was they called, phone mates.
I remember the name phone mates.
Yeah, the recording.
Yeah.
Phone recorders.
Yeah.
They will. Oh, well, good morning. How are y'all? I hope everything's fine. Please give us a call today so they don't have to listen to me rant and rave because I'm going to.
Well,
No, please.
910-333-0139.
Lee talked about the
Yep.
instead of. I remember when I was a switchboard operator at Sears when it was in
Oh
New
my
River.
gosh.
No, sit down.
Really?
Was that before you? That was your day job?
That's
No,
when,
it's
that's
in
when they
like-
still sold donkeys by the catalog, right? You could, seriously. One
Ah,
time you could order a donkey for like $99.
They had a
Sears.
catalog. Sears was in New River, and I was
I
a
remember
switchboard
that.
operator, and so that
Uh-huh.
you actually plugged it in, and
Oh, you had one of those kinds of
yeah, it was
Really?
great.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
You know, my dad was, my dad had about as much patience as, and he passed along all of his patience to me because he never used his either. And on those rotary dial phones, he called, there was a gentleman here, I cannot remember his name, but he was a great technician for Southern, not Southern Bell, Carolina Telephone and Tel, CT&T. And he said, built him a house right down here on Country Club Road. Cannot remember his name. He's a great guy. I got along with him.
Was it
very well.
Randy?
No,
No. Okay.
been in the 60s. He called him over to come to his office. And he said, listen, this phone, I'm in a hurry. Those days you only had to dial. We had a 346 and a 347 exchange.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's
Jack.
it.
All you had to do was dial the 6 or the 7 plus the 4-digit number.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for that, because if he had had to dial the area code and everything else, he would have really gone ballistic. But that thing, he said, this phone, when I have to dial it and you get numbers like 9 and 8, it takes a long time for that thing to come back around. Dial it. He said, I can fix that. He said, you can? He said, yeah. He opened his phone up. This is an office phone now, mind you. He took a screwdriver. I think there were 2 screws, maybe one at the bottom, popped that thing loose, took a spring that he had. There's a spring that brings that thing back. And he put a tighter spring in it.
Oh.
So when he went, his phone went, you pull it around. Oh, he said, I like it. It did not interrupt the pulse. Those are pulse dialing, not tone dialing, but that's the way it did. It counted the pulses as long as it could count all the pulses.
Lee, did you ever try to go and just keep your finger in it and pull it
Oh
back?
yeah, of course.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You
Of
really screw
course.
things up when you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you take a pencil or something and use it, and then right back. Oh, we've all done that.
So shoot.
I tried it with the breadstick.
Did you know that if your phone, if you ever, did you ever get,
experience?
you ever go to a place that had a phone that you could not make outgoing calls on, those rotary dial phones, but it was disabled or it wasn't even there? It was just for answering, like at a restaurant or something. They didn't want you going up because you didn't have cell phones. They didn't want you going up and making calls, long distance calls on their phone or any outgoing calls. But you know, I could do that. I knew how to do it.
Here's some trivia.
Do you know
for
how you do it? Anybody else ever do that? Make a call on the
phone without a
telephone
dial.
without dialing it. Or if your dial had broken.
Oh, operator?
Operator.
It's kind of like that, but no. 6, if you count right and remember to do it, you push the button at the top fast. Dit, 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 dit. You
Oh,
punch it 6 times.
yeah.
And that dials a 6. And then you do it again real fast. It's pulse dialing, and that's all it was. I used to have fun with people. I'd sit there on the phone, regular phone, and I'd make a phone call just by doing that. It's, what are you doing? Nothing. Then it would ring.
Well, I've got a question. Let's see if anybody else of our audience has any feelings about this. Calling a company, I'm going to throw one out, Experian or some of them, Experian Credit
credit
for
company.
credit reports, and they will not let you talk to a human being. It's not going to happen. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, I'm sorry, I don't understand your input.
It's a good
Representative,
thing.
please.
It's a good thing that they can't understand, because I've gotten quite vocal with those recordings. I hope they're recording it.
They're not. It's just frustrating for you, and then you get more frustrated when you do it, and then by the time you ever get to something,
Well, talk about it.
You
I've
just
heard
blow
you
it?
talk about it too, man. But you
Oh,
know,
I had fun with them.
there is with the last call I made, and it was a legit call. Oh, it was about. I don't remember. It was about activating a card or something to do with that. I don't remember. And of course, the person I get is not from this country. And I'm
Oh.
thinking, do I trust this? You know, so I hung up and then I went and did more research and to make sure that the information I was getting was from a legit page. And then called back and got the same person. And I'm just like, you know,
You
there's-
just need to be more trusting. You need to
No.
trust AI, number one. AI is such a wonderful thing. It benefits you most of the time. What do you mean most of the time? What about those other?
what?
Is that Rayford?
He's being
I
sarcastic,
know he
Chris.
is. I know he is.
You know, he thinks AI is the devil.
I know he does.
Yeah,
It is.
It's
Let's go
It
back to
is.
the phones for a minute.
there's nobody there.
um,
Good.
The push for a single emergency number began in 1957. You know, it made me think of 911 as you're sitting there doing that 911. In 1967, the President's Commission on Law Enforcement and Administration of Justice recommended creating a single number for emergencies. That's when the FCC met with AT&T to discuss the implementation of this number. And the reason why they picked 911 because they felt like the digits were easy for everyone to remember. I agree with
and
that.
not accidentally dial too.
That's right.
Unless you had a 910.
So, when was the first 911 call made?
It's in the 70s. Well, the first one that I'm familiar with is in the 70s, but early 70s.
Well, you're close. The first 911 call was made on February 16th, 1968 in Haleyville, Alabama by the Alabama Speaker of the House, Rankin Fight. This call marked the beginning of a nationwide emergency response system. Following this, other cities began to adopt the 911 system, and by the early 1970s, it was becoming widely implemented across the United States.
Now, why do they call it 911?
Because it's a 9 and it's a 1 and it's a 1.
You know, when they first came out, you know what? They were going around to schools.
Mm-hmm.
I went with them one time when they were talking to kids about it, right? You just dial, and well, they called it 911. It was 911 to begin with. You just dial 911, 911, 911, and some little kid, as little kids will do in some school, a brilliant thinking way beyond the rest of us thinking kid said, my phone does not have an 11 on it. Hold the presses. Everything changed with that little kid. It became 911 because kids needed to know. And if you're looking for an 11 on your phone, my phone don't have an 11 on it. What do I do?
What was the date that happened?
The
68.
first 911 call was made on February 16th, 1968.
He
That's
called
pretty
somebody to say, I didn't get my Valentine's gift on the 14th, did he?
Hello,
Yeah.
post office. I didn't get any mail today.
I thought it was April
Ain't nobody
of
here.
70.
You don't believe the amount of people that would call the post office and say, I didn't get my mail today. Well, maybe you didn't have any. No, I get mail every day. Where's my mail?
It's with that carrier that's my substitute. He's still got it. He'll be back tomorrow.
They actually, they're and
That
back
happens, right?
when Social Security checks used to come in the mail.
Oh, that's ooh.
Now, let me tell you,
They were waiting
sometimes
in the mailbox for that.
Yeah, and if you don't have it, and there will be times every month, there's always a few checks that don't come in on the third. They kind of
'Cause
sprinkle
you
in
put
later.
you put it in the wrong box.
Oh, I had one man that demanded I get out of my car, and he was going to search it, and I was like, "No, I don't think
Yeah,
so."
don't do that.
A quick update. There's been no challenge. Remember Monday, Walter Scott challenge.
Nobody's done it.
Not one of our local
Walter.
politicians. Not
Walter, have you? Did you take your phone off the hook or something?
No, the laptop's been on, phone's been on. Not one city
Okay,
council
Walter Scott,
or county commissioner.
One of our
has-
former county commissioners here.
No
and,
senators.
Man about town. He came up to the Jacksonville High School game the other night, but not to see the game. Unfortunately, he had another commitment,
He was
but
coming to
he
see me.
had a prior commitment, and that was a date with Lee.
Oh. No, Laura, not true.
But he brought his wife,
Yeah.
except he locked her in the truck.
Oh my gosh, this is getting worse.
I like my story better.
Oh,
Okay,
my
let's go with
God.
It's
mine.
good so far.
So anyway, he left his wife in the truck. He came up and he started looking through the stands, looking for Lee.
Huh?
Why? Because
Well,
he
he
could
called.
recognize Lee. And then he calls her and he said, "Raise your hand." So she's up there in the top of the stands raising her hand. And then he says, "I see you. I'm coming." Okay, where? Where are you? He didn't answer. He didn't say. So anyway, a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes go by. He shows up on the stands but he was on the bleachers right beside ours. So he just walked over to us and said, "Hey, I'm here."
But then he took
And
money
he
out
says-
of his wallet. And I
Then
was
he
like,
took some money out of his wallet. I said, "Oh, but this is going to be a good night."
buying
Took
popcorn?
Took $100 bill out of his wallet. And he said, "Now, where's that? Where's that guy, that announcer? You know, Chris Marks. Where's he?" I said, "He's right there. He's looking at you." Oh, he said, "How do I get up there?" I said, "You walk up the stairs here, take a left in through the door, and go to the second door on your left. Somebody might try to tell you to stay out. You just punch them. It's okay." I didn't do that, but I did give him directions on how to get in there and all that sort of good stuff. Most people are smart and they don't want to just barge through doors that they don't. That says,
I will.
well, I am too. I said most people are smart first,
Right.
and so they don't do that.
Well, you're
The key word being smart.
you two are allowed up there. That's that clearance.
I'm a
is
sovereign citizen. I can go in.
Look, after what we did to get you up there.
Anyway, Walter gave Chris $100 for some wreaths, and now he is challenged. 2 days ago, he called it here. He challenged all other public officials. How many of them do we have in Oslo County? We just went through an election, so we got a.
We got a bunch.
I
new
was going to
ones.
say something. I can't say that over
So
here.
there's
He's got
six-
a crap boat full of public officials.
Mhm.
Those who have been elected, reelected, elected for the first time. He's challenged them for the first person to match his $100. He'll give another $100.
Yeah.
So for all of y'all out there, his first $100 counted for $100. Now, your $100 for the first person out there will be the equivalent of $200.
Mhm.
Now, if your wife goes to, or your husband goes to Cabela's or wherever to buy some
I
stuff,
love Cabela's.
then if it's half price, you're going to buy it, and probably twice as much as you would have bought
No, you probably
for
don't
the
need
same
it.
amount of money. It's okay, but you're going to spend that money. You will take advantage of an offer like that, will you not? So why would you not, as an elected official in this county, why would you not take advantage of your $100 coming up, furnishing the wreaths for $200 worth of wreaths? Why would you not do that?
Yeah.
And we'll even talk about you in a good way.
Yeah. But
Otherwise, I got to talk about everybody else. And
none of our local House representatives, congressmen, senators,
we
city council.
We got a boatload full.
Yeah. But, we're counting down the days.
Yeah.
We're sadly getting to the end of the 2025
Going
campaign.
there this morning.
And I think, what's the 19th? 11 days left to cut off. And we met yesterday with Onslow Memorial Gardens to get the final arrangements planned for that
Right.
ceremony at 9 o'clock on the 13th
Mhm.
of December. And it's going to be very beautiful. The weather's going to be nice. It's going to be fun.
Speaking of politicians and elected officials,
Mhm.
I would like to take a moment on behalf of all of us and thank two of our city council, three actually of our city council council members that last night was our last meeting. Bob Warden is hanging up his hat. He's
Yeah.
retiring he's done an outstanding
He's going
job.
to do a talk radio show. Did you know that?
Oh, hey, bring it on. I'm going to work with him in the
Hey,
afternoon.
Bob.
We're going to do drive time.
You're welcome to come
And
by here.
Jerry Bittner has
Mhm.
also retired from it.
Former
and
city manager.
He's
and
given years and
city
years of
councilman.
service.
Yeah.
Congratulations on both of you on your retiring. from the city council.
Yep.
They've done so much for
Really
us
have.
over the years.
Number 3.
Bob, anytime I had a question about anything, I would just pick up the phone. I'd dial his number and he'd answer, "Hey, Lee." And so, he was always there to
He
answer
always
my
gave me the
questions.
same response.
Right.
Because I said, "Why are our taxes so high?"
Oh.
Because
Oh, and Brian Jackson, he ran for reelection.
Brian's a nice guy.
And Brian and did not make it. But he'll be back on the scene, I'm sure, soon doing something. Brian Jackson is a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's worked hard for the city too. So
And we got 3 new people coming
yes,
on.
yes, we
First of
do.
December, early, whatever the first meeting in December.
We have Michael Yanero,
Yep.
who is
We all know him.
our retired police chief and
Public safety
director
director.
of public safety. He was a top vote getter.
Mhm.
He had a great campaign team. I'm going to tell you that.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Do you know anybody on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Who?
Fantastic campaign team. Anyway.
Was it a lady?
It's 2 of us.
A lady and blue?
It was Click 2.0.
Okay.
It was Melinda and me, and and Melinda and myself, and we had other people that were on the team too. But I don't think it really had to do much because Mike is a household name,
Mhm.
and he's served the community so well over the years and has done so much for the community.
He was not single-handedly because nobody can do
Right.
anything by themselves, except maybe, well, not that. As the police chief here, since 2000, thereabouts,
Something about that.
he came in and the police department was not a bad police department, but it was let's just, as a stereotypical police department, they sometimes you need somebody from the outside who's really moved up and beyond,
Right.
somebody who has a vision and somebody who can look at the overall, the big picture instead of from within. Sometimes it's really hard to see the trees
Right.
because you're in the middle of the forest.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You can't see the whole picture. So Mike came in and he had a vision, and it wasn't one of those. And there are no 2 police departments or 2 cities or 2 sets of situations that's going to apply everywhere. Our issues here in Jacksonville, trying to fix the crap out in LA, well, there ain't nothing we can do about that.
Right.
Okay, it will take too long. But they have their own issues. They got a completely different set of circumstances than we have here.
Right.
We've got different circumstances than you got in Mayberry. Let's face it, okay?
Right.
Our town is a lot bigger than the population indicates.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Think about it.
It is.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. So he came in and he started looking at things and started thinking about education, this and new and innovative programs that he looked at first, and then he signed on to them. As soon as I met him, I started looking at him and I said, "This is a cool dude. He's coming from the old school law enforcement like me."
Mhm.
Whack, 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 you go to jail. Sometimes it wasn't that bad. Don't get me wrong, people, but there were times that it certainly seemed that that's what you had to do, fight your way out of a situation instead of talking your way out of it. Well, there are apparently better ways. Thank God.
Also, newcomer to the scene, Nikki Smith.
Yeah.
She will
She was
be.
an interesting young lady.
She came on our show. She was, and do you know that the days that I worked out at the polls, she was out there every day.
Mhm.
And like I said, she's a firecracker now.
I didn't work, but I went to vote, and she was there that day.
Yeah, but a retired gunny sergeant, I believe she said gunny sergeant from the
You mean
Marine
the one
Corps.
who runs the Corps.
Yeah, she was lots of fun. And then of course Jerome Willingham won.
Known him for quite a while.
Yes. Which brings to mind, in the past years, and we didn't mention it the last time he was on the show, there's been controversy over his residency. But what brings to mind is Kinston had several protests filed this last election because one of the persons that filed a protest was Sean Keenan, and he's a friend of mine. I know him. He is the chairman of the Kinston GOP, but
So he's a rabble rouser.
Yes. I said Keenan, is that right? But anyway, and he's a lawyer, but he filed a protest on a couple of their council people that were running, and there was questions about their residency. And then another city council candidate, Quarla Blackwell, also filed a protest against fellow Kinston candidates Milton Foster and Ashley Cornigy because there was a lot of controversy over where they actually lived. It was the situation was like, well, I do have property in the city limits that I visit occasionally that I claim as my permanent residence.
See, that you cannot do. You can have property at the beach that you spend the summers at if you want to, or the
Mhm.
weekends at, or what, it's a vacation place. If it becomes your permanent residence, you're there more than you're at the other residence, then
Right.
that becomes your permanent residence. So that's the way that works. You cannot live in Jacksonville and have a house in Surf City on the beach that you visit during the summertime.
Mark
And,
Meadows did.
you
He's
can't,
been exonerated.
you cannot do things like that. Then people get caught doing things
Excuse
like
me.
that.
Right.
I caught a mayor in Carolina Beach doing that,
Right.
but we did it the hard way.
Well, there's been a lot of
Okay, we got
controversy
to
over
do some
that.
weather because we got some guests coming up here.
Oh
shortly.
yeah, true.
A
And
couple of
then,
weak fronts are moving across the waters of Onslow
Okay.
Bay. The changes will see wind shifting first from the south, switching around to the north as those fronts move on. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles today. Southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 this afternoon. 2 to 4 foot waves, predominantly 3-footers every 5 seconds. Sounds and rich choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Thursday, tomorrow, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Friday, southerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Not looking too bad for Saturday and Sunday with the big old butt included. The ocean will not be a place for small boats, john boats, and definitely not novices.
today, mostly sunny with a high near 77. Southwest wind 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 45. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 62. Thursday night, increasing clouds with a low around 49. And Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 74. Has dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
But Friday night, lows expected around 59. So it's looking pretty good for Friday night football.
Well, you mentioned while Rayford gets
Just kidding. I
good.
don't know who it is.
Miss Blackwell. Well, I'll go ahead and get to.
Yeah, for the amateur radio friends of ours out there on the early morning weather net, it's growing by leaps and bounds. By the way, Randy out of Southwest, he had 52 degrees this morning, 95% humidity, no wind, no rain. Joe down in the borough, 57 degrees, 99% humidity, no wind, no rain. And he's headed up to Morehead City for his Waffle Wednesday, so he didn't check in at Emerald Isle. Lee, your namesake over there in the back swamp area, 54 degrees, 93% humidity. He has light southwesterly winds of about 3 miles an hour. No rain. Dale, River Bend, up the river around the bend, 51 degrees, 99% humidity. No wind, no rain. It's pretty much no wind or light breezes throughout, no rain anywhere. Bill out of Catherine Lakes checked in, 57 degrees this morning. And Ken in Onslow Bay, he had 50 degrees, 94% humidity. And Ward, Cedar Point, he had degrees, 59.7, 92% humidity. And Our Lady Blue Lee here over in the Woodlands, she had 50 degrees, 94% humidity. And here at the Country Club in the studio, it was this morning 44 degrees. It's been rising all morning. It's 50 degrees now. Humidity still 99%. And no rain and no rain. The last rain we had was a trace back on the 10th a couple of weeks ago. Okay.
Real quick before Dr. Rose calls in. So the North County election board dismissed Miss Blackwell's.
It said she didn't have enough.
She didn't have any. Interesting that her proof or part of her argument was that she was allowed to vote in 2024 and she was a convicted felon.
Well, I've got some stories about Morehead City, what's going on there, and we'll wait.
Yeah,
But
there's
I'll
also
catch you up on the latest on that.
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
It would be great, you know. We scream and holler, the liberals do especially, the anti-gunners do really. Background checks, background checks, background checks. Everybody ought to have a background check. Some people need to have a psychiatric examination before they ever buy a gun. Who's more dangerous, a gun or a group of politicians?
Group of politicians.
Look what they do. They cost us a lot of money.
Well,
The good ones get things done that are good. The bad ones get things done that are just anything but good. So why not have a background check before, when you apply, when you sign up to run for office? There should be a background check run. It should be listed. That should include any mental issues. That should include criminal history. I don't care about your driving history unless if it's extravagant. I do care about it.
Yeah.
Okay. You got 20 counts of speeding in a year. That's a problem to me. That shows a willful desire to not obey the laws. If you've got a radar detector in your car, you know what I used to say about them? They're not illegal in North Carolina, but you know what I used to say on those that got by and I pulled them over for whatever and I see the radar detector there. If you were speeding, you didn't get a warning because there's a willful intent on your part to speed and not get caught.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore I use that as my, okay, that's yeah, I'll give you a ticket for that, for speeding, not carrying a radar detector.
Someone's going to bring up, I'll bring it up now. They voted on the Epstein files and stuff. This is a file about somebody, these people up in DC. And what the vote was, 435 to 1. There's Dr. Rose.
427 to 1.
427 to 1. I'll come back to it if I can.
Oh, you can, because we're going to talk about that this morning.
Oh, okay.
Quite probably at length this morning. Dr. Rose, good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. I hope you all are.
We're hanging in here.
Dr. Rose.
What's going on?
Hello. I'm doing okay.
Good. Glad to hear it. Everybody sick or everybody well?
It's somewhere in between, but mostly sort of edging up towards sick.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Do we have any influenza that you're having to deal with yet?
Let me see. We had in the last week, I do not think that we've had a positive flu. We did have a couple of positive COVID.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, that was unusual. We had a couple of babies with RSV.
Really?
And then we did have a few strep.
Well,
Kids are getting this testy cough that won't go away.
Right.
And that keeps them up at night. And they're coming in just kind of run-of-the-mill, snotty and sick and looking a little miserable. And they leave with little medicine and lots of love.
and a toy.
And a toy.
Yep.
And a toy.
That lots of love is the best medicine.
A little love.
I know. It comes with a toy, though, so that, I bribe them a little bit.
Yeah,
They don't cry in the office that badly.
but your love for them, they feel.
Yes.
They do.
I can actually see it now when they're at home, and I remember me being kind of sick. Oh, I was not feeling sick at all. Mom, that temperature, that thermometer thing is wrong. I do not have 105-degree temperature. I don't feel that bad. Don't take me to the doctor. But I can see kids today. I think I might have a little tummy ache. Can we go see Dr. Rose? Which might not be a bad thing. If they're feeling bad, get to it quick, and you might solve the problem before it becomes a bad situation.
That's right. And if you're sick, you shouldn't be at school and out and about. You should be at home, and hopefully one of your parents, if you're not a teenager, can take a day off and just love on you a little bit. And that's that's the more important part of getting better.
And all parents need to learn how to make chicken soup. I can just tell you that right now, because I really believe in chicken soup.
And if you can't make it, there are a lot of them out there that you can buy. There's several good ones in a can. There's even good ones at Panera that you can just pick up and bring back home.
If you want to go to,
I would make it from scratch, but But
if
there
you,
are alternatives.
if you don't have the time, if you can't make the time, or you just maybe you're not worth the crap in the kitchen, for some of the dads and moms or whoever's going to be at home, right? Or older siblings, maybe you can open up a can. But I tell you what you do: if you cut up an onion first or part of an onion, and,
Oh my gosh.
and saute that onion a little bit, maybe put a little bit of garlic in there, just a little bit, saute all that stuff, put it
Just
together,
a little bit,
and then put a little. I know it's got salt in it, but some of that chicken stock. If you put that in there first, and then and maybe because it doesn't come with necessarily a lot of chicken or a lot of other stuff. Maybe dice up some carrots. Now you cook and some celery. You put all that together and simmer it together. And then if you've got some chicken, those rotisserie chickens are $5. You can do a lot of soup and a lot of chicken sandwiches.
Great idea.
Peel that skin off; it comes right off, and slice that stuff up, cut it up, put it in there with what you just put in the pot yourself cooking. Before you add the other chicken noodle soup or chicken and rice soup or whatever else you're doing, put it all together, and you got almost homemade.
Yeah.
Yep, and that little touch makes it so much more special.
It does. It does. And you get some good healthy stuff in there.
So, Dr. Rose, I got a question for you. It's not a silly question, but it's a question concerning colds. Because I have some of my young children from church that couldn't make it to church because one of the brothers got sick, and they're so close to each other bond-wise that the one that wasn't sick got sick because of the one that was sick, and then it started spreading through the house. It
really,
yeah. I mean, I know colds they call it the common cold. Still, maybe.
But it's not a mental situation, is it, Doc?
That's what I mean. That's my question. Is it possible that you can pick up cold because you're close to your sibling?
It's a great question.
Yeah, well, you can pick it up because you're close to your siblings, physically and probably mentally as well. But the thing is that kids are not hygienic. They touch your stuff. They touch their mouth and their faces. And it's not a pretty sight. If you just sit there and you look at what they're doing, you'll see how much they're able to spread things around. So when one kid gets sick and they are close, especially when they're close, they will not stop touching each other unless you put them in separate rooms. And even when you do that, they will sneak out and probably just start playing and all that. So if your kids are of the same age group, you have a pretty good chance that whatever it is going to go through the house. And you can play one of two ways. You can separate them, or you could say, what the heck, they're going to get sick anyway. So just let them get sick. I'm going to have a miserable week, but we'll get this one out of our system and boost their immune system a little bit. But one of those two scenarios is going to happen. You're going to be miserable because they're going to be sad and they're going to be separated while they're sick, or you're going to be miserable because all your kids are sick.
Yeah, let them all get it at the same time. That way you only got 1 week or 10 days to deal with it. Otherwise, 1 week here, another week here for the next one, another week. Yeah, that could be a problem. And it was.
That can be pretty terrible.
It was with my sister and me, because I would get sick like the measles. And well, guess what? I got over that after a week or so. Then she got it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord have mercy, my poor mom.
Yeah, my brother and I usually spent the time together when things like that broke out.
Be in the middle of 5. Yeah.
Oh God, you got it.
You're a boy.
You gave it and you got it, right?
Well,
you passed it along.
But I did catch Dr. Rose said something that I want to pick up on. Dr. Rose, you say it helps build the immune system?
When you get sick, that old phrase, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, it has a little bit of truth to it. Now, don't try to get sick, but just be aware that when you're sick, especially young ones, you're building up an immune system. So when you send the little ones to school for the first time, they've never ever been to school, they will have a very difficult 6 months. And after those 6 months, they start to get a little bit better. Sometimes it actually takes a year or two, and then they start not getting as sick. It's not because because they're not in contact with other children because they're going to school. It's because their immune system starts getting stronger and stronger. It starts recognizes more bugs and being able to respond to them.
I was watching some videos last night. I love comedy on TV, especially the YouTube is full of cool channels, and I find some with dogs and cats and other animals in them. And one of them that I was watching last night was kids and little babies. I'm talking about small children, some of them not even walking. And one in particular really loved her two little doggies, and a mama gave her a lollipop on camera, got her a lollipop, like a Tootsie Roll or whatever it was. I don't know what they're called. But the kid was doing that and reached over and handed it to let one of the pets lick it, and the little doggy right beside her licked it, and she passed it over to the other dog. There were two dogs. Did the same thing. Then she took it back and she continued licking that same lollipop. Good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, usually I would say that that's not bad, except that I saw a sort of newborn. This baby was maybe 2 months old. Get very, very, very sick because the dog licked her face.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs will carry a bacteria in their saliva that is very benign towards them. The dog, but can make a child or a newborn baby very, very sick. So, I'm not the greatest fan of that, just because I have that experience. Now, that's one experience out of many, many, many. But that one will sort of mar you for life when you saw that occurred. So I wouldn't be the biggest fan of it. But on the other hand,
it's cute.
More chances than not. But what you're going to do is you're going to increase your immune system. I would never do that on purpose.
Right.
I think that it's a good idea to take that lollipop away and throw it away at that point.
Here's what ran through my mind this morning, not last night, but we're sitting here talking. What is this kid going to do when you got the next door neighbor's kid over, or three of them?
Same thing.
Or in a kindergarten classroom.
Same thing.
We're all going to lick on this same piece of candy? I don't think so. I think the dog would be safer, to be honest with you.
I think the child was smart because he's trying to answer that age-old question.
What came first?
No, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord of mercy. We just went downhill. It's funny.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, yeah, I can see the cuteness in it, but I can also see the possibilities.
Yes, I see it the same way.
Okay. Dr. Rose, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Dr.
Rose.
Rose.
Oh, thank
As
you. We'll talk
always.
again the day before Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Keep
ma'am.
Be safe so that you can keep your Thanksgiving plans.
The day before Thanksgiving? That's not next week, is it?
Yep. Next Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be in Texas.
You guys all have a great week.
Well, I lost some time. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rose.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. Have a blessed week.
Dr. Rosemary Stein, see you next week talking about we'll talk about Thanksgiving and maybe some of the benefits of wow.
Yeah,
What happened to this month?
it flew by.
You know what? And every year for years and years, I always think it's the last Thursday in the month. It's not.
No.
It's not the last Thursday. It's the third Thursday. I think.
Well, it is the third Thursday. The month started on a Saturday. It was weird.
Funny.
I got a calendar right here. I can punch it up and show you.
Well, tomorrow's the 20th, so 14 days. So 14 is the 6th, so it's the 6,
What?
13, 20,
It's the 27th.
27. So it's the 4th.
2, 3. It is the 27th.
It's the
It is
4th.
the 4th.
It is the 4th.
Wow, what happened?
Because the
to
Jacksonville Christmas parade is the Saturday before Thanksgiving,
That's right.
which is this Saturday
Oh, okay.
at 10 o'clock, Washington Boulevard.
Talking about Thanksgiving and talking about food, did you hear that story out of High Point, North Carolina this past Thursday at a Food Lion over the 29-cent turkeys?
I got mine.
29 cents a
It
pound
was a
turkey.
big fight, wasn't
Oh,
it?
there was a shooting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you shoot the bird or what?
Well, I imagine there was some. Yeah, but they found one man who, when officers arrived on the scene, they found one man that had been shot in the arm. He was taken to the hospital, non-life threatening. The situation started inside the food line when a customer began to argue with an employee over a turkey. Another customer stepped in, and the two customers got in an argument and then a fight.
Y'all are stupid, is all I can
One
tell you.
customer went outside to get a gun. When he started to walk back to the store, the other customer walked out, and the two men exchanged gunfire, resulting in the one man being injured. Davis is it Buddy? Let me see.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, Rayford?
Not a whole lot. How are you?
Mike. Hi, Mike.
I'm
Hi,
good. How
Mike.
y'all doing?
Doing fine. Mike.
Hello, Mike.
We got reminders of who you are all around us. There's just a mic here, there's a mic there, a mic there, a mic there, and a mic there. We got 5 mics in the studio, and Lee couldn't remember your name.
I knew since I saw it because it comes up under his. I guess your
I'm
wife.
busting your chops, Mike. How you doing?
Mike.
I'm good. How are y'all?
For a Monday, it's not bad.
The reason I called is when you started talking about old Walter Scott.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was waiting for you to start talking about him going in there and like demanding and stuff.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
Well,
I was waiting for you to get to that part where he was going into the booth and like demanding the employees tell him things and stuff like that, like he was doing at the county. I didn't even realize he was still a county commissioner.
He's not.
no.
He's not a
not.
county
No.
commissioner. No, he's not. He's he
Former county commissioner.
former county commissioner.
But
Do you believe he's
I
going to
just,
run?
when I heard his name, I just remembered there was some drama with him going into the county offices and pretty much harassing the employees. I thought you were going to start. I
No,
thought that's what you were going to
no,
start.
He was
that's behind him. Whatever those issues were, that's not part of what's going on.
he was doing a very charitable,
Oh yeah,
act,
absolutely.
very charitable donation to our
Okay.
veterans, deceased veterans.
Yeah, no, that was just a little. That was kind of funny to me. I was like, well, what has he done now? He voted for him. So.
He's done some good things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I actually voted for that guy. So.
Mhm.
No, that's the only reason I called. So, yeah.
Well, you may have a
Good
chance to
joke,
vote
Delaney.
for him again because
Yeah.
I'm sure that he will
There's
probably.
there's a chance, and so
Mhm.
we're hearing through the grapevine, and he's not denying it, that he's going to throw his hat into the ring next go round.
Right.
So
Well, like I say,
stand by for that.
Filing
there was a
opens.
reason. There was a reason he was asking for stuff. So
Filing opens December 1st for anyone interested, and it closes December 19th. So if you want to jump in there, Mike, or run for county commissioner, December 1st, be first in
Is
line.
it's not this year for county commissioner, next year for county
No.
commissioner, is it?
Next,
But this is 20. You have to
2026.
file in December 2025, and the primary is March 3rd, I believe, of 2026.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the
when I
couple,
run for county commissioner, my first thing I'm going to try to do is make Onslow County a sanctuary county from the Department of Marine Fisheries.
I was wondering where that was going. I get you.
good luck.
Yep. There you go.
Y'all have a good one.
You
You
too, Mike.
too.
Take care, Mike.
What's wrong with the idiots in this world? Do we have enough time?
Sure.
We're waiting for Pete, so he'll be here in just a few
Yeah,
minutes.
let me make sure
Who
I
among
get
you,
this thing.
y'all out there, who among us in here, who among us is so stupid and screwed up that as a man or a woman, that you or we need to explore your sick desires with children? We hear about the exploits of those grown rich men a lot. We talked about that earlier this morning.
Right.
Perhaps we'll learn about the women with similar sick needs as time goes by, and the young victims used by Jeffrey Epstein to get up close to rich and famous people. Jeff had his own sick and perverted ways, no doubt about it. Those have been cured. He's dead, as did those who worked for him to help satisfy his needs. But the rich and famous are not the only mentally screwed up people out there. Yes, it seems that among their peers, their behaviors may seem normal and accepted. Their peers knew. and they huddled together. But what about those who are neither rich nor famous? While the disgusting acts of the disgusting folks get all the headlines, while we salivate at wanting to know more, there are literally thousands of others doing the same thing. Tens of thousands. Even when they're unveiled, they make the news. For one, maybe 2 days at the most. Then we don't hear about them. Not for 6 years like we are with Epstein. They get arrested, their mugshots are displayed, the story gets 30 to 45 seconds of airplay. Within a year, we might see a follow-up story when the scums appear in court. It becomes page 13 news, though, if it's covered at all. But Epstein's exploits are still making news every day, and they will probably as long as most of us are alive. In Duplin County, the law has arrested a man there, charging him with several sex charges, including involving a child, including rape. 71-year-old. Did you hear me right?
Yes.
71-year-old Albert Lorden
Mm.
was arrested a week ago and remains confined under bonds totaling $300,000. According to the arrest warrants, old man London Lorden is charged with one count of a sex offense with a child 15 years of age or younger by an adult. That's the way the criminal statute is written, y'all. Statutory rape, second-degree kidnapping, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. All of the offenses he's accused of committing happened in April of 2024. Investigators say DNA evidence was used to obtain the warrants. The warrants do not provide details, of course. Those details, as much as will be released, will have to come from the sheriff's investigators and the district attorney. In reality, it's doubtful that much more than the limited details on the warrants will be released until the case gets to court. Pretrial prejudicial publicity is a problem in cases like this. What I can tell you about old man Lorden, he was much younger in 1981 when he was given a probationary sentence for stealing more than $200 worth of something that didn't belong to him. A couple of years later, he was convicted of DWI. He picked up 2 more DWI charges and convictions in 1987 and 1989. In 1998, Lorden was arrested for misdemeanor assault. That was in March. In the same year, on July 28th, he was arrested for selling drugs. July 28th. 3 days later, on the 31st of July, he was arrested again for selling drugs while he was out on jail for selling drugs the first time. In both of those cases, which were combined for his trial, he was given suspended sentences, no prison time for 2 felonies. In 2014, there was a news release that was published. The Duplin County Sheriff's Office listed Lorden as one of a number of people arrested on felony drug charges. At that time, he was charged with selling hydrocodone. Can't find a word, nothing, no word, nothing showing the outcome of any trial that he may have had at that time. There's nothing in the criminal records about that offense other than a news release that he was arrested. Lorden was one of about 36 men and women arrested after a 10-month undercover campaign back in 2014. Skip forward 20 years to 2018 from his original stuff. Lorden was arrested on another felony charge, possession of a gun by a felon. A few months later, he was found guilty. His sentence was suspended, and he was ordered to perform some sort of community service. So far, with 3 felony convictions under his belt, 1 outstanding felony conviction that we don't know anything about, Albert Lorden has spent no time in the North Carolina prison system. Not sure when his real court date will come up in this case, but I really hope that some members of the real news media will put it in their future files and follow up on it on a regular basis.
I say ditto to that.
Now, before we get over to Peter, rumors had swirled around this one guy since his first public allegations of sexual misconduct with a minor child. We found out about it in 1993, and we found out about it in a civil lawsuit that was eventually settled out of court. The man kept on making money, doing all sorts of cool stuff. Y'all contributed to his income. You listened to him on radio, you bought his records. November 19th, 2003, an embattled Mr. Jackson, first name was Michael, prepared to face criminal charges of a similar nature when a warrant was issued for his arrest on charges of child molestation. Though he would be acquitted 2 years later of each criminal count on which he was eventually tried, the erstwhile King of Pop suffered many blows to his already damaged reputation and finances while facing the charges filed in 2003. And this date in 2003, he was the second bad November 19th in a row for Michael. He had been caught on camera dangling his infant son from a hotel balcony in Berlin 1 year earlier. And that incident was only the most recent occurrence to have helped transform Jackson's image from that of a beloved pop idol to that of a tabloid curiosity. But from the time of the first allegations through the time of his total demise, he made a lot of money.
Yeah, he did.
He made a lot of money, but who did he get the money from? Uncle Sam? No. From you and you and you and you and you and everybody out there who loved him.
I didn't love him. I had to play some of his music because
Yeah.
of nightclubs and working in radio because they were the top songs. Personally, once he grew up from the Jackson 5, I had little use for the man, or whatever he considered himself to be. There.
Yep. Now we're going to go to something
Yeah.
about old people. Like me. We're getting older. Those of us who are lucky, we continue to get older. And Mr. Peter Wright is in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow.
How are you, Peter? He's ready to roll here this
I had a
morning.
good night's sleep.
Good.
Very good.
I'm going to sleep on my way to Wilmington this morning.
Not through Hempstead, you will.
Cars and autopilot. Got it programmed. That GPS is programmed for every turn between here and there.
You know, there are cars that will do that.
I know that. I'm retrofitting I built it myself in the ham shack.
I can't. Could you see Rayford sitting in a car taking a nap and letting the car drive itself?
No.
No.
Especially not,
I could see that happening for me. That would be quite pleasant.
not through Hempstead. Nope.
Then I wouldn't have to get out of the car every 3/4 of an hour and run on the spot. That would
I need a tank for that. But, my boat used to have autopilot on it until I changed engines and stuff like that. So that old autopilot would not handle the new engines. And it was actually a really weird experience that I had one occasion coming back from Moorhead after a fishing tournament. We went offshore because it was calm. It was a beautiful day. And making our way home, I'm the only one of 3 people aboard the boat that was awake.
Huh?
Sitting beside me was a friend. On the back seat was my wife stretched out, sleeping. They were both sound asleep, and there was me. There wasn't even much radio traffic going on. Nothing. It was quiet, except for the slow grind of those twin motors. Really quiet. It put me to sleep. I put autopilot on. I looked way ahead. Nothing that I could see within range to the left, to the right, or straight ahead. I put that thing on, and when that sun coming through the port side window, it was absolutely wonderful. I went sound asleep.
Oh, wow.
The only thing is the autopilot for the boat that I had operating at that time, it would veer, when it veered off course, it would get to a certain on the GPS course, and then it would jerk back into position. And that jerk back into position was like somebody turns the wheel, and I said, "Oh, okay." Then I'd wake up. So about every 3 minutes, I woke up.
Wake you up.
But I had 3 minutes of wonderful sleep several times.
Yeah.
Napping. Anyway,
Well,
okay.
I used to fly a plane. I never.
Oh no.
I never slept while flying
You're
a plane,
incredible.
fortunately. But and I didn't have a George, automatic pilot. But you can trim a
They called
plane.
him George.
That's what they call it. Yeah. But you can trim a plane so that it flies straight and level, and
Right, yeah.
And
Wait, you just said you can trim a plane?
yeah, so you've got ailerons and they've got the whole flaps on them.
Are we
and the
talking
rudder-
about real planes?
Yeah, real
Yes,
plane.
yes.
Yeah.
And not remote?
Yeah, not remote.
It's not like trimming a tree. Okay.
Yeah. And so you've got the big flap, and then on the end of a big flap, you've got a little flap. And when you
Okay.
trim, you change a trim wheel, and it will adjust the aileron to the right
Ladies and
position
gentlemen.
To keep
So-
it going level.
So you go flight level, and then the same with a rudder. You can trim that. so you're
Ladies and
going-
gentlemen, this is your pilot. We are now currently cruising at 30,000 feet, and I'm going to take a moment and trim the wings.
My
and
flaps
I will
are
be-
hanging down.
Yes,
Too
I'll be
low.
right back with
No, as soon as you get on level flight, as soon as you get up to where you want to be, by height that you want to be at, and you know your destination, you trim the plane to suit, so you don't have to keep putting a force on your ailerons or your
We
rudder.
are now
And then
in
it just
trim
flies
mode.
in
Did
a
you have
straight
any
line.
alarms on there that when the fuel got down low, it woke you up?
Oh
No,
my gosh.
You didn't have any alarms?
No,
like
it's
that?
an old Cessna 173.
What happened
Most-
to John Kennedy Jr.?
I don't know. I do remember that happening when I first got here, and he
Yeah.
flew at night without a night rating or instrument
he
rating,
was-
from
he
what
was
I
not-
remember.
He was flying IFR without a rating.
It was
He
like
didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I had a night rating, and I never flew IFR, and it's different at night. And if you
It's dark.
if your engine fails, and as my instructor said, if your engine fails and you've got to come down and land, you turn your lights on as you get closer to the land to see what you're going to land in. And he said, if you don't like what you see, just turn the lights off.
It might be better. Not knowing sometimes is good.
all of this right before Chris gets ready to fly out next.
How you feeling, Chris? I'm
Good.
staying home.
But it is nice my point was, it is nice on a plane that you don't have to have your hands on the stick any longer. You can just sit there, you can look around. It's far more restful than driving a car, and you've got to keep your hands there and continuously make adjustments. With a plane,
I just
it
can't.
takes away all that stress. You can
It does.
so a 3-hour trip in a car is probably it still takes about 3 hours in a plane. By the time you've got the plane, you've done a check on it, and you've taken off, and you've landed at the other end, and you put it away. It still takes a 3-hour thing, but you're so much more relaxed because you don't have to work. Apart from the landings, I was never very good at those, but but the rest of it
Apparently
was
you were
pretty,
good
pretty
enough.
stressless.
Well, we have Captain Pete and Chip and Dale Chris now. So
You got the old chip off the block, right?
interesting.
And then there's Lady Blue.
Yeah,
Hmm.
at the pole.
Sorry, I had to continue your discussions on
Did you ever-
George or autopilot.
George the autopilot.
Did you ever drive a race car?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
actually.
there
Did you
go.
ever race your car?
I have ridden a race horse,
Oh, no.
and I've also ridden a white, what are they called? Lipizzaner stallion.
All right.
Oh, those Aussie.
No, they're from
Austria.
Italy, I think. Austria,
Austria.
maybe.
Oh,
Austria
You're
is where
right.
they're from.
Right.
And they are incredible.
Oh, I've seen some show horses. Those say, there was a lady down in Sarasota, Ringling Brothers during the winter
Yeah.
seasons when I was there.
Yeah.
She was an old lady. She was 900 at the time,
Mhm.
but I took her out to feed her horses at a place where they were
Mhm.
kept. They were show horses. She got out in the pasture there where they were not pasture, but the corral, and she was showing me what she could do. Just having
Hmm.
them stand up and walk and doing all sorts of cool stuff.
Well,
Okay.
crikey, mates.
I'll tell you what, Peter, I'll give you an open invitation, because the day that I jump out of an airplane, parachute, I'm also going to do the NASCAR experience in Charlotte, and you can
You hope
I want to do that.
you jump out of an airplane, you're not sure what you're going
I'm
to do.
parachuting out of the plane.
Well, that's
and,
what I mean, though. You're depending upon some clown to put that stuff that thing full of. Wonder what his night was like the night before. Have you ever thought about that?
No, and I don't want
There's
to.
only one driver I want to
will
ride
now.
with on that NASCAR experience.
I'll fly a plane. I'm not sure I'll jump out of it.
Unless the plane's got a problem, I'm staying with it. Lesser of two evils. God. All right, Peter.
Wow. We are
Peter's
way
here
off.
now. We are so far in left field. I don't even know where we are.
Where are we?
But it has been fun.
Yes.
7th of December is coming up, and it's notable for, in addition to Pearl Harbor Day,
Hmm.
that notorious event back in 1941. There's a deadline.
That's
7th
right.
of December.
Yeah. Yes.
And the deadline for those of us on Medicare or who have gotten on Medicare to make some changes is December 7th. In most cases, there are some extenuating circumstances. We'll deal with those after the 7th. But for a lot of people, there are things you can do now. And I know you've been told on your telephone calls what you can do a lot, because I still get them. Can't imagine somebody still calling me. They must be newbies.
Well, they call other people, and unfortunately, they take it. They take action. I had one person who came to see me, and she said, "Peter, you didn't tell me that the Blue Cross Enhanced Plan is terminating this year." I said, "No, it's not." And she said, "Are you sure?" Because I was told by somebody from another company here that it is terminating, another agent. I said, "No, it's not terminating. Look, here's the plan for the next year." Oh, so they lied to me. I said, "Yes, they lied to you. They want to get a commission."
Was it your first time you've ever been lied to, lady?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Checks in the mail? No, sir.
So be very careful, because
Were you able to fix it?
I've told her what to do. She's going to phone up that company that's done it, and I've told her to disenroll from the plan, and the Blue Cross one will automatically carry on.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be careful when they offer. It's hard to imagine that anybody actually believes anything that anybody tells them over the phone. I don't believe it. And it could be Donald Trump himself calling me, or it could be the Pope claiming to be the Pope calling me to tell me something. I'm just not going to believe you.
David.
Go away. Click.
This is Donald.
No. Are you? No. Or do you have Part A and Part B? No. Well, I'm calling to ask you. I usually start out with none of your business, and then we go from there.
Mhm.
And then they finally. Well, I just need to ask because can I ask your age? Yes, 114. I'm sorry, you're not eligible. Click.
I tell him 17.
I just tell them 114.
I'm only 17.
Nice.
The more you tell them, I think the word spreads sooner or later because I'm not getting as many as I used to. I do block a lot of numbers, but
Well, yeah, I've
they
blocked
just change
probably
numbers.
1,000
I'm lucky they
numbers.
haven't got. No, I'm not going to say it.
oh, you better.
Because some people
Sitting in here during the day working on a show or doing other things in here, the lights will go off here, our flashers go off, and the calls come in. So I will quickly answer, and I'm getting Medicare calls on this business line.
Yeah.
On line 2 of this business line, it's 2 separate numbers. That one's not even listed anywhere. It's obviously people are random dialing. That's the only way they can. The only way they could do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not in my name. It's not anything.
Mm-hmm. So, Peter, let me ask you something. You say, in reading through this, supplement plans are getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Some?
Yeah. So I'm seeing, and so is one of my colleagues, we're seeing a lot of people coming to us now that are on an existing supplement plan with a separate drug plan. Now, not only the supplement plans becoming expensive, I'm getting people paying $280, $320 for a supplement plan. But I've also got drug plans that I thought I'd find most people paying $35 or so for a drug plan, but I'm finding quite a number paying $135 or so for a drug plan. So you add the two together, and it's a lot of money that you're paying, and it's just going to get more expensive, especially the supplement plan as you get older. Each year you get older until at some stage, for most people that have, have limited income, they're going to say, I just can't afford this anymore. And we're seeing that quite a bit now. I think that people are beginning to realize, well, yeah, they can't afford it now. And so they're looking to find out what the alternative is. And in all the cases I've come across so far, they've decided to change to a Advantage plan this year. Yeah, when the figures are like that, it just makes more sense. And if you want to, you can put a hospital indemnity plan with that too. So the supplement plan, you basically pay every month. You're paying a certain amount every month, maybe a $200 or $250 premium. It starts at $100, but it goes up as you get older, and each year it goes up and up because you're now getting older and a group of people that are dying off, and so it's getting the prices will go up because they've got to charge more. And so I forgot my point. So you've got that supplement plan. With the supplement plan, you're paying a set amount whether you go to see the doctor or not, but you know how much it's going to be per month. With an Advantage plan, you're often paying $0 premium when and you just pay some co-pays when things come up. And so a copay may be a $0 copay to see a doctor, a $20 or $30 copay to see a specialist, or if you need surgery, it could be $350 copay for surgery, or it could be $400 copay for being in a hospital for 1 to 6 days. The first 1 to 6 days, $0 after that. So what you can do, you can get rid of the worry about the bigger copays by taking a hospital indemnity plan, which will pay you if you go into hospital. These cost about $70.
Does it pay the hospital too?
You can arrange for it. You can give the card to the hospital when you go in there and say, get the money from my hospital indemnity plan. But I think it's better to keep control yourself.
Yeah, buddy. They might add to it.
I've had a couple of instances when somebody's been transferred from one hospital to the other, and the GTL has only paid the first hospital because they don't know if it was at the choice of the person or if they had to be moved because there wasn't equipment there. So if you keep control of it, then you can make sure you get refunded for that money. But so what you can do is you can cover the big copays like the hospital costs, the surgical costs. If you needed surgery, it will pay you, the amount for the surgery, which you can then pay to the surgeon, to Blue Cross. It'll cover the physical therapy. So, and I quite like that because this year my physical therapy cost was $10 and I was being paid $50 per session. So this year I got
money.
Yeah, I was making $40 every time I was going for physical therapy.
So you went 3 times a day.
So you only get paid once per day by
Good try.
Yeah, it would be nice otherwise. So once per day by the hospital indemnity plan. But so I had 16 appointments spread out over about 4 or 5 weeks, and I got a check for $800.
Wow.
And now that pretty much pays my premium.
For the year?
For the year, yeah. So yeah, because your premium is can be $65 to $75 or so, depending on your age.
You need a doctor's prescription to go get this physical therapy, right?
Yes, yeah. You need to get you need to be approved, for the physical therapy. Sure. But I've got plantar fasciitis, and I've also got some knee problems. So it's as we get older, unfortunately, it's pretty easy to get. Yeah. So if you've got a problem with an arm that's not, it's causing, you can use it for that. It also covers you for skilled nursing if you want it to. You can choose what you want covered and what you don't want covered. When I say $65 to $75, I'm talking about covering pretty much everything. But you can, my wife did one for somebody this last week for, I think it was price was $37 because they just wanted the hospital covered and nothing else.
Okay.
So, you can choose, but what that does then is you don't have to worry about any of the big copays. If even if you take an ambulance, it'll cover the ambulance for you.
Sure.
So, you can, in other words, you can go into hospital.
We're all different, folks. I'm different than Chris. I have different needs than Chris or for Lee. But there are plans out there you can customize. I can have you look at me and I tell you what I likely need or what's potential out there. You can find a plan tailored to my needs, right? And
we can make something work.
That's what it's all about. It's not just one plan fits all.
Yeah.
There's no such thing out there.
I quite like the name of this plan. It's called, so it's the hospital indemnity plan, but it's called an Advantage Plus Elite. And basically it's adding to an Advantage
Sounds
plan.
cool.
Advantage Plus, Elite plan because it's the latest edition or whatever. But it tells you sort of what it's doing.
Got it.
It makes that Advantage plan. I think it gets rid of the holes in the Advantage plan.
Here's some points to consider though. December 7th. That's a big thing to consider. If it sneaks up on you, you might not want to wait until December 7th. Peter is at the Walmart here on Marine Boulevard North, near Western Boulevard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right behind the Golden Corral. If y'all know where it is in Jacksonville, north side of Jacksonville. He's there Monday.
Well,
Next week, I know, but you're there for the rest of this week.
I'm there till Friday. From
today through Friday, 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
10 till 1:30
till 4:30.
Yes,
Got
that's
it.
right.
So that's going to be for the rest of this week. Now, next week is Thanksgiving week. I've just been told. I thought we had 2 weeks to go, but we don't. But next week, you're not going to be there except Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Walmart's going to get busy getting ready for Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. And then
They chuck us out of the store.
Yeah.
They don't want us in there during
They didn't want you in
Thanksgiving.
there.
Yeah.
If you're in there, you're probably going to have to help stock the shelves, is what I would guess. So you don't want to do that. So that will be, and then
The next week,
it's going to be the last week.
the last week, I'm going to be there from a Monday through the Saturday.
Sunday is the 7th,
Yeah.
so it won't be there. That'll be over.
Well, what I'm going to do, I think, on the 7th, because last year when I was in there on the last day, I signed up one person. I signed up 10 and 11 people the 2 days before that. So what I'm thinking is I will spend that day that the Sunday I'll spend phoning people or visiting people. I've got to tie up loose
Now,
ends.
you all know how it gets when you reach a deadline. It suddenly pops out of nowhere, and you're going to say the day after, "Oh God, I forgot.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. See me next year," and don't wait so late. So right now, you've got time. You see Peter today or tomorrow. He's going to be at Walmart today and tomorrow. He will be there.
And Friday.
And
Yeah.
you're going to be there on Friday as well.
This week, yes.
This week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, that's right. This week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow, and Friday, all week long.
Yeah.
The rest of the week, he's going to be at Walmart, beginning at 10 o'clock. So stop on by there. Now, next week again is Thanksgiving week, and just Monday and Tuesday next week.
That's right. Yeah.
Put that on your schedule, and you can then go in there and play at Walmart for the rest of the time. After you see him on Monday or Tuesday. And then you can go do your whatever you got to do at Walmart anyway and get that behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week, if you haven't gotten everything done that you needed to do, you've got all week long, 6 days, Monday through Saturday of the following week, the week after Thanksgiving. So Peter's going to do a lot of extra effort here to make sure that we all of us, and that will include me, have got some special time with him. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
What are the biggest questions you're being asked today? What are they saying? I know there are changes out there and people like, oh God, what are the changes? How do they affect me? That's going to be my question to you. How are the changes that are coming down the pike? How are they going to impact me in a good way or a bad way? That's what I'll be asking you. So is that what is that what people are concerned
people
about?
want to know what the changes are and the plans for the next year. That's one question. Another is, I've signed up. I've made the mistake of possibly signing up with somebody else. What can I? Is this the right plan for me? That's another one I get a number of times. So be careful
How
about
often
that.
when they ask you that question, have they been screwed?
Most of the time. I had somebody see me yesterday.
They realize there's something wrong.
I had a couple come to see me last night, and the wife was still on the Blue Cross plan, but her husband was a bit confused about what had happened, and he'd been moved from Blue Cross plan to another plan with a different company, and in September, and then had been moved again on the 1st of October into a chronic plan. So with the same other company. So he'd just been swapped and then swapped again a month later. And he said he was just confused
That
with all
doesn't
these
make any
people phoning
sense.
him. Yeah, but so that just is one agent and then another agent just trying to get a
Not gonna
commission.
happen. No, I don't want that.
So then, he just wanted me to put him back in the same plan as his wife, the Blue Cross plan that he was
There's
in.
one word on the phone, y'all. No.
Mhm.
No. I got Peter. I'm going to talk to him. Click.
And if you do want to find out about saving money, if you're on a supplement plan, do come and see me. I can show you how much you can save. It might drop your costs down from $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 down to $500, $600, $700, $800 a year. That's a big difference and a lot of savings that you can get. But it's up to you. You don't have to make, you at least find out about it. You can then decide what you want to do.
You're a living example because it's not like somebody that's like 24 years old, never been sick in their lives or trying to sell insurance plans, right?
Yeah.
You've pretty much done it all.
Well, I've been on Medicare for 20 years.
That's
I
what
got
I mean.
disability and I
So-
with a pretty nasty disease, rheumatoid arthritis. I had it very severely. It's not in remission, but it's I'm
control.
able to control it a bit better now.
Okay, so Peter's not talking out of his backside; he's talking out of his mouth. So you've been there, and you got the T-shirt. You know what's going on, and you can help people. So that's the kind of person I want. I want somebody who has suffered himself, if necessary. I hated to put it like that, but I want somebody that can understand my plight.
Yeah. Well, it makes it a lot better, I suppose, in a way, because people come to me and say, well, I've got disability and I've just got Part A or Part B. So, oh, yes, I was in that same boat and I did the same as that. I had Part A and Part B for 10 years before I realized about the advantage plans. And
now, for you retirees out there, military, federal retirees, and all that sort of good stuff, I know you've got your plans, and I know you're happy with what the government is doing for you as a retiree, and it may be the greatest thing since sliced white bread, but you never know unless you ask. It doesn't cost them to come by and have a chat with you. Bring your medications, bring your list of doctors, bring your list of ailments or whatever you got, and sit down and say, is there anything out there I need to know that I'm not being told? I'm sure the government's taking as good a care of you as the government can take of you, right? That's going to be the case. They'll tell you so. And I trust them. It's not that I don't trust them. It's that they don't necessarily know me personally or you personally as well as you would hope that they would. And I know a lot of people who are military retirees, and there are lots of things that they don't know, and they're all complaining. Pretty much everybody with any ailments who's retired, they're complaining. I hear them complain every day, or at least 3 nights a week, don't we, Lee?
Yes.
We have one or two of our friends and associates that are always talking about, oh God, I had to do this and do this, and I had to wait. I just couldn't. I really wish, but well, you don't have to wish anymore. There are opportunities out there. They won't cost you anything more. All you got to do is go by and say, talk to a guy who knows.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What else
Well-
can I ask for?
Yeah. Well, I've got close to 100, maybe is 100 veterans on my books.
Really?
Yeah, both VA
Very
and
good.
So
and
they
or
are
TRICARE.
they are aware.
But there's a lot of people still that I meet that I can
And no
help.
clue.
So
Well, we got a lot of
and there's new people
veterans out
becoming.
here.
Yeah,
Sure. They're retiring every day.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Anyway,
they have
it
to
doesn't
find
cost
out.
you anything to say hey to Peter.
No,
And
go buy
He's
him.
not going.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy him anything. You don't have to pay him anything. It doesn't come out of your paycheck. You're not going to lose anything. It's not going to cost you anything. Period.
There's not a lot of things you can get
There's-
free.
I don't know
help
anything.
and advice
I don't know
from
anything.
a professional.
You can go to your lawyer. You can pick a lawyer when somebody is suing you, or you want to sue somebody for a consultation, and you got a ticket. Your first consultation, they may say, is free. Oh, but that's going to be about as far as it goes. You get 10 minutes. Tell me your problem, and I'll tell you what to do. What I can do for you. Now, write me a check. That's not Peter.
No.
Okay. So you don't
Sound
have to
advice.
pay him. Don't have to pay him up front or at any time in the future. You
Yeah,
don't have to pay.
I'm paid a little bit each month by the insurance company.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm incentivized if somebody signs up, by coming to see me or using my services, then I'm incentivized to make sure that you're happy and remain happy during the time you're on that plan.
Well, the thing is, you every year you still get, as long as you got a satisfied customer.
For as long as they're in the plan.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's
that's
a
why-
reason to keep them
yeah.
happy from
Yeah.
the day one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not a flash in the pan like some of the people on the phone. Do you think they're in that business next year? No. No, they're in it for the 6 months or so that they can get in there and steal money from you.
Next year, they're selling you timeshares.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, if somebody has a problem during a year, they can phone me and I can help them solve that
That
problem.
too.
And
Customer
that does
service.
happen. Yeah.
Service after the sale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, I heard that one a long time ago. I forgot what company was that. Sears that did that. Somebody did it, and that was a good slogan, a good thing. Peter, thank you,
Thank you.
and we'll see you before Thanksgiving. So
Yeah,
we'll be in here next week.
And I was wondering, could I come on the Tuesday morning next week? Would that work with you?
Works good.
The scheduler is good with that.
Works good with us. Tuesday
done.
morning.
Tuesday.
Okay. That'd
Put
be
you on the
super.
schedule now.
Okay.
Very good.
Isn't today Tuesday?
Today is Wednesday.
Duh.
So, and if anybody wants to call me, my phone number is
252-675-4488. And I didn't even look at this. Did I?
you didn't.
252-675-4488.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were on
Because
the
you put me
schedule.
right the one time I was.
I
I
know
did
you
it
had it
about
wrong.
3 or 4 months ago. I said, Peter, I think is that changed? Or
That was kind of funny. 'Cause I'm usually the one who everybody's correcting. Like yesterday, I get a wrong phone number to call in here, and
That's okay.
they had to fix it for me.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I got yours right. I got mine wrong.
okay. Well, thank you all very
Peter,
much.
thanks.
Have a good day.
Have a great rest of the week. I hope you
Thanks.
get. Or I hope a lot of people will take advantage of this opportunity. It's not take advantage of you. It's not taking advantage of insurance companies. It's getting what's out there available for you, because these people are out there. They are out there to make money. I will give you that.
Mhm.
And there's not many people in the profiteering business that are not there to make money. It's not a nonprofit, okay? So they're going to make money, but they're going to help you. And the way they can continue to make money, it's easier to keep somebody who is happy, that you don't have to go out and find new bodies every year to sell something to. It's easier to find, if you're a car dealer, to have that same customer
Mhm.
coming back to you every 3 years or 5 years or whenever you're going to change cars. Come back to you because they're happy with your service.
Mhm.
That's what it's about. Service after
Yeah.
the sale. And that way they don't have to keep selling
Mhm.
you.
And the other thing I would say is, that when we've picked a plan or we've reviewed your plan and you know that it's the right one for the next year you'll keep on getting phone calls from people trying to push you into a different plan.
No.
we've already, looked at all the plans. You're in the right plan. Don't change.
Now,
I've had probably each month, I've had 4 to 6 people put into a different plan. And I've fortunately been able to phone them up before that's gone into place, before the end of the month. And in, I think almost every case, the person has decided, no, I didn't realize I was losing all those benefits. I'm going to stay in the plan.
they tried to sell you a bill of goods over the phone. The one thing that I would add to that is if my conditions change during this upcoming year, whatever my needs are changing medically speaking. There may be something I want to change next year.
Yes.
Okay.
That is,
So-
but then you organize that rather than
I
being
want to
pushed.
talk. I will want to talk to you every year just to make
Yeah.
sure I'm still good to go, and especially if I'm having new drugs given to me, or they take me off some stuff, or they want to take out an eyeball or something. There may be some things that change that
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
want to change my system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good points.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank
you,
you.
Peter.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ta-ta.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheerios.
It's already done.
She's already way ahead of that game.
Oh, yeah.
She's got you covered there, Peter.
I try to do it as soon as he walks
Thank
in the
you.
door, so
Yeah.
I don't forget.
Yeah.
Take care.
We prepare
Drive
stuff
careful.
here. This paper is thick enough to
Yeah.
build
good
a house
stock.
with.
I like it.
nice paper.
I
It's-
recycle it.
Good stock paper.
I just
Yes.
staple it all together and just use it as a.
I
As
recycle
building
it, and
blocks.
that's what Chris and I make notes on, don't we, Chris?
Yes, we do. So
Can't even
We
see
got-
through it. That's good.
we're gonna,
Okay, let's do a little
Weather.
bit of weather.
before we talk about files,
What? Oh,
Weather,
yes,
before
weather.
files.
Files and stuff, all those things out there. This little change in the weather that we've got out there is happening because if you follow what we say and you follow the weather, taking a look at weather online at the National Weather Service, not at some flunkies, the weather patterns do change and they're kind of predictable. And it's like for the waters are the marine forecast. You guys who depend upon the weather forecast probably more so than anybody else out here, okay? Unless you've got a clothesline that you hang your clothes on. A couple of weak fronts, they're moving across our area right now, today, especially with the waters right now. That's where the changes are seen first. The changes, we'll see winds shifting first from the south, and then they're going to be switching to the north. Yeah, mine's already started that. It was southwesterly earlier today, what wind there was, but now it's moving, it's switching around. So that's what we're going to go through, and those fronts will move on through. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles today, what that means, winds from the southwest this morning, 15 to 20, diminishing to the 10 to 15 mile per hour winds this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Predominantly 3-footers every 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers are choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon tomorrow. Northeasterly winds. There's that big change coming. 10 to 15 knot, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Northeasterly winds when you're in this part along the coast. Light winds from the northeast keep the seas down because the winds are coming across it's not hitting head on. Friday, south winds out of the south at 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly, 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers. Sound and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop on Friday, and that will be in the afternoon.
Chop, chop. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 77. Southwest wind 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 45. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 62. Thursday night, increasing clouds with a low around 49. And Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 74. Heat index 74.
I saw something. Heat index 74. I saw that. Hold on. See what it's 58 here. It's 58, and the heat
Thinking
index.
of you.
Heat index is 58.
I did see on the weather on one of
Things will
the
change.
local news stations this morning, the weatherman talking about Saturday morning, some showers coming through, but I believe they're going to be early in the morning. clear up and then showers later in the
Yeah,
day.
we'll have more by
we'll know
probably
better.
tomorrow
Mhm.
and Friday for sure.
We'll know more
Yeah.
better.
Want to hear something funny? I found something funny that I
Oh.
just think is hilarious.
Let's talk
It's
about
a
it.
newlywed couple, right?
Oh,
They just
no.
moved in, brand new,
Oh, no.
moved in next door to a very nice couple. Couple was a little older, been around for a while. As was usual, the older couple had their morning coffee every morning, sitting in the kitchen, watching through the windows of what's going on. They saw the young lady, the newlywed next door. One of the first days she was there, they hadn't even met her, but she was hanging her clothes on a clothesline.
Okay.
It's kind of like people used to do, and
Mhm.
like I like to do today if I had a clothesline. The wife noted that it was nice to see her using the sun to help make her clothes really fresh, because it does. But she mentioned to her husband, he's just sitting over there sipping his coffee, not saying anything, the clothes didn't look quite as clean as she thought they should be. She suggested that maybe the lady, newlywed, did not necessarily know how to do the laundry, or maybe she was using the wrong detergent. Her husband didn't say anything. He did like a good husband, a smart husband, kept his mouth shut. Next day, same thing. Same story with the wife, mentioning that the clothes still looked a little dirty, saying she thought someone should offer a suggestion to the younger woman in a nice way, being real nice about it. Drinking his coffee, the husband said nothing. He shook his head. On the third morning, the wife smiled and said that someone must have helped the young housewife as her clothes were sparkling clean. Her husband, a man of very few words, spoke up. He said that he had gotten up early that morning and he cleaned the windows in their kitchen. Chris and I like that, don't we, Chris?
That's what we do.
It's a man thing.
Lee doesn't like it at all. Okay, now let's go to those files. The vast majority, all except one or two people in the House of Representatives, did what the president, even the Republicans, suggested yesterday. Open them files, open them files. So they're going to open the Epstein files. And what are they going to find? Chris, this is your story.
Well, one is the representative that
Smut.
voted against it was Clay Higgins out of Louisiana.
Mhm.
And it had to do with law enforcement and the privacy of citizens. But
He didn't like the way the bill's written.
yeah, and that the bill has so much, so many things in it that just anyway. I don't think, me personally, I could care less what they find in it. I've already heard rumors. And
They're going to dig the guy up and bury him again, right?
that'd be a waste of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, once again, my problem is this: they've taken all this time to go over files about a dead man, and you have one person that's dead now, right? He's dead. Okay.
Right.
I wasn't there. I didn't do it.
There's been
Okay.
some women that have committed suicide.
Yes. Okay. And I do
Because
pray, I pray
he
for them.
died. Because he died.
No, because they were victims.
They were victims.
Mhm.
They were victims. And
How long ago were they victims? What ages were they?
I would
victims?
have to pull the
And
stories.
is
and
it
give you all the
because it
stats.
all is coming out? Is they couldn't stand the notoriety? The
Yesterday,
publicity?
too, the families gave speeches and talked about their loved one couldn't handle the shame
Mhm.
and
So,
et cetera.
all of
and
that's
they
coming
had
out
to-
about the individual victims.
And then there was another victim that actually spoke herself on mic, on camera.
the things that we
about-
and the media are not supposed to do is reveal the names of the individuals
These are
subjected
adult
to.
women who
It doesn't
chose to
matter.
do it.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
they did.
Right.
So my personal problem with it is this: there's so many things that our government elected officials could be doing other than wasting time taking a vote on a bill to release files that, for the most part, are not going to affect the majority of Americans.
It's just pure smut. They want the smut. They want the gossip. They want the details.
I'm
It was
sorry.
all political to start with.
Remember that thing about Michael Jackson I talked about a little
That's
while
right.
ago?
Oh,
I mean, you know,
yes.
did it impact him? Not until it cost him a lot of money back in but no, in the
Which he
beginning,
has money. He didn't care.
he made this money.
That's right.
Well, it's not affecting Epstein. It's not affecting his girl Friday.
No,
It's
she's in prison,
and
in a country club prison.
I agree with Lee. It's all political. I don't recall them pushing for it during the previous president's term. I didn't see no pushing for it.
And for those that want to say that the Republicans made campaign promises that they didn't keep, okay, they didn't right away do legislature to throw the files out there. Have no reason of knowing why. Maybe the Justice Department says we're not ready to release them, or we're still redacting or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. But it was kind of strange that every Republican, with the exception of one yesterday, had no problem with voting yes.
Now, here's my question for you, Madam Politico.
Far from it, but go ahead.
After Trump was unelected,
Mhm.
okay, 2020, he lost office in 2021.
Right.
He was not a threat to anyone in 2021, as far as anyone knew at that point in time, right? Politically speaking. How many Democrats the Biden White House, the Biden administration had an appointed go-getter in the Department of Justice, right? The Attorney General. Did they go after those files at that time to try to reach Trump to see what role he played, how he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Did the Democrats go after him?
We
for that?
did bring that up the other day.
But
And
did
it
they
was-
go after him?
No.
The answer
It was
is
all
yes or no. So
quiet,
no,
yes.
they didn't do anything during that 4 years, right?
No.
Didn't, until it got to the point that, well, maybe this guy might be a problem again. Let's discredit him. Let's go after him. They went after him in other ways. Those were vengeance ways that they, without any doubt, the Department of Justice was politically motivated to do what it did in some areas, as today's Department of Justice is being politically motivated to go after individuals as they do. Now, don't get
Right.
on the phone and tell me that, well, they did it and they did it. Well, yeah,
Retaliation.
it's all the same. They all do it, and it's bad. I
Right.
don't condone either one of them doing it. What I'm saying is this smut-driven deal, to me, my personal opinion is the reason that the Democrats did not push forward for this thing under the Biden administration during his term, because a lot of them were involved. Do you think that only Donald Trump, a Republican, was the only person? Oh, well, what's that guy's name? Summers that we mentioned yesterday?
Yes.
Who used to be, what was he during the Biden administration? Secretary of the Treasury?
Something.
What he was way up. Do you think that maybe, a lot of them have a whole lot to hide that they didn't want brought forth? So therefore, they didn't mention it. It's kept quiet.
Well, my opinion in this whole thing, the Epstein file should only be about one thing, and that's about the victims. Not what the Republicans think, not what the Democrats think, not let's oh, look, so-and-so's name is in here. Let's go after him. No, this is about the victims.
Who's going to go after them?
Thank you. I was just getting ready to
They're
ask
too
that.
busy going after each other.
The criminal cases or what? You ain't going to get anywhere with the criminal cases,
Nope,
y'all.
it's done and
Give
over
it
with.
up. Done.
That's right.
Over. Now, if you want to turn over these files to any victims, if you look through these files, this is the way I would do it. You look through these files and you find that Jane Smith over here, she was a victim of John Jones. Oh, God, I can't say that. We know of him. Jimmy John, oh boy. He used you illegally. You ain't going to go to trial, criminal trial, and do anything about it. You don't want to do it. You ain't go. But if you want to sue him, here are the files for your choosing. It's up to you, the victim, to do this. And if I found cases involving any of these individuals that there was good evidence that so-and-so victim Lee Barrows was a victim in this case, ask her, Lee, would you like these files? And the chances are probably 99 out of 100 to go say, I put that behind me. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's over. It's done with. I've got a husband. I got kids. I got grandkids. I have got a new life, and I have buried that. The chances are more likely that to occur. Now, if it gets out there and you spread it around and some dumbass politicians are doing it for you, just spreading it all over the place, for whose benefit? The victims in this case? No, they don't care about the victims. Don't give me that crap. They could care less about you.
They're calling. Okay, so they're calling it the Epstein files, right? So now we have the Kennedy files. We have the
Lincoln files.
Lincoln files.
Who helped kill him?
At the end of the day, what is this going to do? It's going to open up the wounds to those victims.
If it's not going to help it, you know what? The Rotary Club. Are you a Rotarian?
I was.
Isn't there something up there on the walls every time they meet? Every time the Rotarians meet, is it something up there like four items?
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken, four. What are some of those?
I don't recall.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Does it hurt anybody? Does it benefit anybody? In that little Azalea Festival organization, which had 700 volunteers, and we had meetings throughout the year as volunteers, not all 700 gathered at any given time, but those who were in office and those who were in key committees and all that sort of good stuff, we met. At the end of every meeting, those monthly meetings, year-round monthly meetings, by the way, at the end of every meeting, it started out there for a while I was in it, somebody would ask, does anybody have anything for the benefit, before we adjourn, for the benefit of the festival? And unless you had something to benefit the festival, we're adjourned.
Monday night, Kathy and I were at the American Legion, and we pinned the 50-year commemorative pin to 16 Vietnam era veterans. But before they started when they started the meeting, they all stood up. They have a pledge of sort that they say.
Yep.
Rules, I guess, that for lack of a better term, they live by. This is what we're about. This is what we're going to do.
It allows us to survive within ourselves, is what they think.
Rotarians have them. Probably actually, when we did the Alpha Beta Kappa, I think is what they were, sorority. But they started with something too that's special and unique to their sorority. So I think every organization does, because it makes them inside, benefits them. It benefits their organization.
Yep. If it doesn't benefit us, it's going to hurt us. So shut up.
Lee, you see this benefiting anybody? These files?
Well, I do have to, a part of me agree with what Representative Higgins said and why he voted no on the bill, because he was saying that the bill as written, he felt like it revealed and injured thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people who provided alibis, family members, etc. And he said it's enacted in its current form, this type of broad reveal of criminal investigative files released to a rabid media could absolutely result in hurt. But I think we're past a criminal investigation because Epstein is dead. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of ways that they're going to forward because your main player is gone, not there. Emails that were released from Epstein, to me, don't prove a thing other than he had a bitter distaste for this person or that person or whatever. And I could email you something tonight and say, this person I don't like and blah, 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 blah. Does it mean they actually did what I'm accusing them of? No, I'm just being bitter towards them. So I just think that release it, because you know what's going to happen next. I'm going to put it out there. There's going to be so much redaction in it.
Oh,
People are going to start accusing the Justice Department of purposely covering up evidence and names, et cetera, et cetera. So
if the
Get ready for
president's name comes up any further than what it already has, what's it going to do? Seriously, I mean, listeners, give us a call, 910-333-0139. Say it says that President Trump visited the island once. What's that's going to do?
Well,
Are they
it's
going to get him out of
already- it's
office?
already-
Visited the island.
there's already
Yeah.
repercussions out of it. That Representative Norman from South Carolina, he's a Republican. He introduced a resolution to censor Stacy Plaskett. She's a Delaware from Virginia, for exchanging texts with Epstein during a congressional hearing with Michael Cohen, a former associate of President Trump, in February 2019. Okay, what does the text say? What do they do? Did they make a date? Or do they talk about this? Or, I mean, really, I mean, the whole censor was voted against. It was thrown out. But, I mean, it's already started all these repercussions. 2019, that was what, 6 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is what it is. If the Justice Department didn't find anything in the files that they have that was relevant enough to go out and make a criminal arrest, then just read the files, be happy, be done with it.
Okay, something occurred yesterday. We know it occurred. I'm not going to get the
Yes.
facts because I don't have the facts. The sheriff's office is preparing a release and involved a driver's ed car that was apparently possibly carjacked with people in it, but all the people got out, one or more persons, by a person who was supposedly armed. That's the information that I will call it information because I don't know any differently yet, that was posted on socialist media. Okay. I don't know what occurred. It may all be factual. Don't know. The sheriff's office worked on the case. They have taken somebody into custody, and the release is being prepared because it's a multi-agency involvement. They're having to all make sure all of their information and the investigative reports are in before they put it out to the public. We don't have it. It has not been released as yet. Their public information officer, I reached out to him last night, and he responded. He said, as soon as we get in and everybody gets together and they all provide all of the information that they have, we're not going to do piecemeal like you find on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you find the stuff. I don't know. So we're not going to do that. So something happened. Everybody's okay. I'll just give you that. There's nobody at large, nobody in harm's way.
But I love the fact that you just talked about the social media posts that were out there. There were so many different stories of what was going and different locations, different law enforcement involved.
It's that whole thing. You sit down, a whole row of people sit down, and I'll whisper into your ear a bit of information,
secret.
and then you pass it along, and you pass it along, and by the time it gets out the other end, it's like, oh my crap,
He's dead.
what happened?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I got an ingrown toenail. I took my pocket knife out. Did you hear he's got an ingrown toenail and somebody had to cut his toe
Redford's
off?
got a knife. He's getting ready to cut someone.
Yeah.
That's the way it's called gossip. That was the name of the game that people
Now, I
play.
will say that.
Oh, you're going to defend that gossip mongering group.
No, I'm not defending anything other than the fact that you find out more on social media what's going on in town than you do anywhere else. I mean,
If you think it's right.
no, I'm just saying, like, thank goodness the sheriff's office has now got their traffic app. I mean, it's wonderful.
It is.
But
That's
you
not
know,
social media.
but no, I'm getting
That's
to
com-
that.
that's coming
But
from a
prior to
source.
that, like, say it's in the city and there's a wreck on Gun Branch Road and it's tie up traffic. Usually you know about it right away because somebody's posting. You don't get the details, and I
Well,
don't take to
the
heart
idea
the
for that
details.
is to allow you to, slow down, pick another route, do something else, whatever.
I tell you, I was very impressed this morning. I turned out of my neighborhood, out of the woodlands.
And you ran into
I
somebody.
just got onto Gum Branch Road, and I looked, and I had to go to the other lane because there was a bag of what appeared to be trash in the right-hand lane.
Did you stop and pick it up?
I didn't have time before. No, I'll tell you what happened. As soon as I passed it, blue lights ahead of me came on. And I watched that officer make a U-turn, go back, park his vehicle, his or her vehicle, and pick up the bag of trash. And I wanted to say, good job. Thank you. And I pray it was just trash, no body parts or no animals.
Well, we haven't seen anything there, but was it he wouldn't have picked it up and if it had been people in it.
Well, I'm just saying
They've been
anyway.
a crime scene.
The law enforcement
Do
officer.
you know what agency?
I'm not sure. I thought at first it was JPD, but when they passed me, of course, I was blinded by blue lights. The car looked dark. It looked
It could have
dark.
been
So
anyone.
it could have been anyone. But I thought it was pretty cool.
Whoever it was,
That was
PD,
pretty
Sheriff's Office,
Thank
HP, DMV enforcement guys, whoever stopped and picked
that
it up.
could have caused a
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
mishap on the road. So
Well, and it's also it's good citizenship. To do
yes, it
things like
is.
that.
Yes,
And
it is.
Thank you. For,
Yes, I thank you very much. But no, I didn't have time much. As soon as I reacted to it, then the lights came on and I saw him do a U-turn and I knew what he was doing.
Well,
So
good. Glad you pointed it out.
yes,
Yeah, me
That's
too.
excellent.
I thought you were going to say that they turned around with the blue lights on and we're getting ready to pull you over.
No, I knew instantly what it
They were
was.
going to, but she threw this bag of trash.
I
That was
threw my-
pretty good,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, there you go. I knew they were coming for me, so I threw the trash out.
That's a distraction.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, thanks for pointing.
All right, Rayford, let me. Unless you have something right now,
I gotta go.
there. Is it time? Oh, 8:57. We're not going to get into it then
Go
because
ahead. Hurry up.
okay. We had a former teacher at Newbridge Middle School that reached a plea arrangement pursuant to Alford for 18 counts of Class 1 secret peeping.
No.
It was Stephen Burra. He's a former teacher at Newbridge Street School. The defendant pled guilty pursuant to 18 counts of Class 1 secret peeping. He will receive 7 consecutive suspended sentence with supervised probation. Now, I will say, I don't know what was in the case files. I don't know exactly what happened. I was not at the courthouse. I was not in the courtroom, so I don't know why all 7 were suspended. But tomorrow he is supposed to go back to court, and the judge will decide whether or not. They're holding a hearing, and the judge will decide whether or not his name should be put on the sex offender
There are
registration.
2 things there. One, secret peeping. I need to know details.
That's me. I would need, but I know that there's a protest planned for tomorrow morning
Yeah.
in front of the courthouse,
Whatever.
demanding that the judge put him on the sex offender list.
Well, it depends upon what the case is. I
Right.
do not know what the case is.
I don't either.
A stupid case in Carolina Beach,
Mhm.
and the guy really he came close to getting justice performed out on the beach.
Right.
But he worked at a store that sold things that you get out and ride the waves in, the river rider stuff.
Mhm.
And they also had
Surfboards.
clothing in there, and they had
Right.
bathing suits and things like that.
Wetsuits,
And
right?
people would go in to try on certain things. And back behind the dressing area, there was a little tiny walkway,
Mhm.
dark. They found a hole drilled into there,
That happens a lot, yes.
and he got caught.
Good.
He
Going
got
back,
caught.
going back to this case, Rayford, if he had 7 consecutive charges and 7 consecutive sentences that were suspended, wouldn't you like to know more
Now,
why?
what you said that they were to be served consecutively or concurrently,
I believe I said consecutive. I've
I know
already
you
closed
did.
out that.
but
Right. I read what was
quite
there.
often many of them were served concurrently.
Right,
That means
right.
at the same time you get a year suspended sentence 7 times and it's to be served at the same time, then at the end of the year, it's all.
I would have
expired.
to know the
I
details
don't know.
of the case.
I would have
Right.
to read to
But
specifics,
the thing
not,
about it is,
not from social
a
media.
judge is going to do what he has to by law. He's
And
going
he's
to
going
weigh
to,
all
he's going to
that.
consider the facts of the
That's
case. He's
right.
going to consider the situations and who was harmed and what's the likelihood of this individual to be put on a sex
My thing is,
registry
if you're
list.
going to protest,
I don't know.
you're doing it all wrong. Let the judge make his decision. Go from there. If it's not like you think
Then
it
vote
should
him
be,
out next time
then
around.
vote him out, or
Mhm.
either put together a resolution, take it to your lawmakers, go to the General Assembly, produce and say, we need to change these laws. That's how you do it. But if you
Well,
want to go
that will
out there
be
and
taken,
protest,
that's going to be taking the discretion of judicial enforcement away
That's
from a
right.
judge.
that's right. But that's
Tough to
just
do.
my opinion.
Okay, tomorrow is Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which.
Yes,
Is it
yes.
Thanksgiving tomorrow?
No.
You sure?
Yes, I'm positive. Don't get so upset. The turkey will still be there a week later. That poor turkey. I know. There's a turkey. There's a turkey somewhere
Look,
going.
won't feel
Well,
affected.
Robbie's here to tell you we've
I
got
know,
to
we're
go. You've
leaving.
got to get ready.
Gotta
We've
go.
got to go.
Goodbye. See you Monday or Tuesday, and then we'll see you in the morning. You're live on Local Real Talk. We're awake, not woke, and have a great day. And if you're on Highway 17 between here and Wilmington, pull over. I'm coming through.